So I've been working with Divya for about 6 months now, doing her brain training program. At first I was like, what is this brain training stuff? But I thought I would just give it a go. And there's been a lot that's changed, I would say, in the last 6 months. So one of the biggest things that I've seen that's changed is the way that I see myself and the way that I deal with the situations that life gives me. So COVID, everybody has gone through COVID. I would say that the way I've kind of handled it is different from the way that I would have handled it, say, 6 months ago. So yes, I still stayed in bed and cried for like 2 weeks. Thought my life was over because my whole business crashed and burned. But then after that, I was able to kind of pull myself out and look at it from a different perspective. So changing it from the, oh my God, why is this happening to me, to what can I get out of this? And how can I use this opportunity to do new things, look for different things to do? Who else can I help from this situation? Things like that. So I reckon if I hadn't done any of Divya's brain training, I probably would have just been depressed and in bed and gone back to my parents' house and did nothing, pretty much. Yeah, so like zero income, what am I going to do? I thought about moving back to my folks, just living there, chilling out with them, taking it easy. And that was an option that I could have done, but I chose not to do that. And instead just decided to stay in Sydney and see the other opportunities. It's really just a shift in perspective. Yeah, so that's the biggest thing. It's like things can happen on the outside. All these situations can happen. This is how I would have dealt with it. Cry, feel sorry for myself, feel depressed. Oh my God, my life is falling apart. And yeah, I did a bit of that. But then I shifted and I was like, okay, cool. What can I do now? What are the good things that are happening? And what am I grateful for? And yeah, so seeing the sunshine and making lemonade out of lemons when there's lemons. What's that saying? So there are several different tips and tricks that I learned from Divya to shift my perspective. And one of them is going from happening to me consciousness to a happening for me consciousness. So when Divya said that to me, I think she said it to me a few times actually, but it actually landed last week when she's like, Joyce, what kind of consciousness are you in at the moment? Are you in a everything's happening to me consciousness, or is everything happening for you? Like why is this situation happening? Why is this happening for you? And what can you get out of this? How can you learn and grow from this situation and become a better person? So that was one of the things that Divya taught me. And the other little tip and trick was called above the line and below the line. So in every moment, it's just kind of asking yourself, am I being present in this moment? Am I conscious of what I'm actually doing? Or am I just doing it half asleep in routine mode on autopilot? So just being able to snap out of that as well, just becoming aware of where I am and being able to shift that has been a really big game changer for me too. I think one of the big things that I've learnt about myself through the last 6 months is that I'm really harsh on myself, and I can be more gentle on myself, I guess. So I never realised that I was super competitive and super hard on myself when things went wrong, didn't go my way, things weren't absolutely perfect. And I kind of learned to let go of that perfectionism a bit and just kind of go with the flow. Yeah, for example, when I'm planning, I used to plan, here's the yearly goals, here are the quarterly goals, and here are the monthly goals, and here are the weekly goals, and here are the daily goals. And everything would be like X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, let's dot the I's and cross the T's. And now it's just like, okay, cool. I'm going to set an intention. This is going to be my intention. Here's what I'm going to put out there to the universe and see what happens. And kind of setting the intention, but trying to stay unattached to the outcome. So I won't get disappointed if I don't hit it, or beat myself out internally for not getting to that goal. That's an example. So at first I thought that living my life just going with the flow without goals would be just like disastrous because everybody needs a plan. But the more I stepped into it, the more I realized I was learning more about my true self and the way that I operate internally. And I was able to separate, I'm still learning this, but able to separate more opinions of what other people think that I should be doing and all the things that society says that I should do versus the things that I want to do. And because I'm doing more of what I want to do, I feel like I'm a more happy, joyful person and more positive person because I can just be more authentic and more myself. About 6 months ago, I was invited to the Intrinsic Brilliance Institute Iris retreat over in Bali, and I was invited to come to take photos and videos of the retreat. And during that retreat, I really discovered the magic of going somewhere to work on yourself. And if I had heard about this retreat, I probably wouldn't have gone on it because I would have been like, oh yeah, I'm good. I like my life the way it is. But because I had the opportunity to go to it, I realized that it was so powerful. And while I was on the retreat, I think I experienced what it was like to be fully present. Before this retreat, I spent most of my time thinking, got to do this thing, okay cool, next thing, let's do my list, let's do this, okay cool, check this off the box, okay what's next, let's do this. And I would kind of just be busy, hitting goals, doing all the things, and it was great. But I'd never really taken the time to just go and slow down and look at the food that I'm eating, look at the food that I'm chopping up, how does it taste? Walk through the field and actually like look around and feel the grass under my feet. So to experience all those things on a new level was profoundly impactful for my life. And I'm really glad that I got the opportunity to go to this retreat. So when I returned from the retreat, I really loved it because I found myself slowing down to a pace where I could enjoy life more. So it wasn't just about hustle and do things and tick off goals, but it was more like take a deep breath and smell the flowers, like enjoy going on walks and doing just really calming, peaceful, grounding things that I feel really good for my soul. So because I was learning more about me and the way that I was able to work if I was able to fully focus on a task, I found myself taking that back from the retreat and putting that into my real life. So when I was fully focused, I actually wrote an entire book in a week, and we actually had some of our biggest sales weeks in history, actually, of the company. Yeah, the results that I started seeing were amazing. So when I realized that when I actually put 100% of my focus, my full attention on the task I was doing, I was able to do it at like lightning speed, but it wasn't like lightning speed and crappy work. It was lightning speed and really good work too, and be happy with the outcome and also have all this free time to do nothing or whatever I felt like. So another big change in my life that's happened during the 6 months of working with Divya from the Intrinsic Brilliance Institute is that I feel that my relationships are much more full of love, and they're just so much more substantial and not superficial. So I know a lot of people, like I've got like thousands of people on my Facebook, and I'm not saying that to show off or anything, but there's so many times where I'm just like, hey, how are you going? But then I've forgotten their name by the next time we meet. To me, that's kind of like it's like a superficial Facebook friendship. So what I've discovered in the last couple of months especially is how to really connect with people on a deeper level past the, hi, how are you, how's your business going? Just deep into who they are and what they want, and how we can help each other as well. So I really feel that my relationships, not just like personal and friends, but also my family as well. We have a WhatsApp group, and then we chat with each other. Yeah, I think that the relationships are getting deeper and more meaningful, and I feel so much happier. I think probably for me the biggest thing that's come out of the last 6 months is my increased capacity to handle the situations that life is giving me. So 6 months ago, I would have just become a depressed human being if COVID hit and someone was trying to sue me, and I lost my property and all this other stuff that's been happening all at the same time. It could have just been like pity party, all this stuff is happening to me, but I was able to bring myself out of that. And with Divya's help and with the help of the Intrinsic Brilliance Institute training, I was able to switch my focus, switch my perspective, and turn it all around. And yeah, I just feel happy all the time.